what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. So I want people to have the same, first of all, feeling which I have when I observe world. Second of all, this knowledge, seeing how everything works. All of these formulas that I see, I mean, I see it through formulas, but there is a meaning in these formulas. There is deep meaning, how in general our world um, works, kind of works, because everything we're surrounded is just systems. Trees are systems, society is systems, and observing this and sharing that to in my artworks, I want people also understand something important and take from that some meaning for their life, so their life can be easier than it is, or so they can understand that how much they can influence the world as the world influenced them. I mean, there is lots of things I want them to take from my art. That's why I create that, because this feeling that I can share with people, it's huge, because I think that my antenna is working very well. So I want to just share, to transmit through my art this knowledge and this feeling to people. I mean, to all of the humanity. I'm happy if I can do that as much as I can do, and humanity can take the best from that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Creativity Worth Expressing. I'm your host, Ryan Anthony Hernandez, and today I'm with an awesome artist, a very talented artist, coming all the way currently from Miami. Please welcome to the show, Gaya, and I think the last name is Arushanian, Gaya Arushanian. Gaya, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Hi, Ryan. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting. I'm doing great, and I'm ready to share my stories and everything you want to know about.
Oh, exciting. So my first question to really start this is my question for you is, can you share with me and with the audience what is your current form or forms of creativity?
Um, I have lots of forms of creativity, but first of all, I position myself as a multidisciplinary artist. So I do painting, sculptures, installations. Now, only these three kind of forms are my forms of creativity.
Okay, so we're going to dive into your creative journey now. So my first question for this is, Gaia, what was it that started your love for creativity?
I was 10 or 11 years old, and my neighbor, she was about 12 or 13, and I saw her drawing, and it was so bright, so beautiful. And I remember myself, my feelings, that I just fell in love, and I decided I'm going to do this, and I'm going to be an artist. That was my first expressions about art, and my just first love, I would say.
So you mentioned that it was your neighbor who,
Yeah.
in some way, inspired you. So my question is, where are you originally from?
Originally, I'm from Armenia. I'm Armenian, but I'm from Ukraine. I was based in Ukraine. I was living in Ukraine many, many years. So that happened in Ukraine. So my neighbor, she was Ukrainian. She was going at the same place, to the same art school that I went to that many years after she decided to go.
So in the very beginning of your creative journey, you get inspired by your neighbor. You're Armenian, growing up around the Ukraine. My question for you is, did culture, did family, did it have, and also culture, did it have a strong influence in your art from the beginning, or has it developed? Can you walk us through that?
Oh, it's a long journey. I think that it's this question is the most important question because it helps us to understand not just us artists, but also just anyone to understand how we identify ourselves. So, um, culture, Ukrainian culture, and many Armenian culture influenced me a lot. I think because of my Armenian culture, I love a lot colors, very deep colors, and I would say emotional colors. So everything very expressive. It's my DNA, I think. From Ukrainian culture, I took that freedom. I took that. Um, I think freedom is the most important thing I took from Ukrainian culture, uh, and it helped me to be myself and open myself widely to the world.
Mhm.
Yeah, something like this.
Cool. My next question for you is because you started off getting inspired by creativity, you said around 10 years old. But when people get inspired, many times that inspiration it goes away and they do other things in life. They become a doctor or they join another career and they leave that hobby or passion behind. My question for you is, when did you realize that, hey, this isn't just a hobby, but maybe I can make a career out of this? When did you have that realization?
So, first of all, I should say that my parents, especially my father, he didn't want me to become an artist. Especially growing up in Armenian culture and Ukrainian culture, post-Soviet culture, he used to think that I cannot survive in this world being an artist, like to earn money or something. So he wanted me to be or a lawyer
Mhm.
or accountant or economist or something like that. I really do like economy a lot, everything with this, with numbers, formulas. So I've been thinking like how I can do both and still be an artist because I loved it a lot and I still love it. And at the age of 18, I decided that I'm going to study economical cybernetics. Not just economy, but economical cybernetics, which is about like kind of creating economical models through digital world through numbers, formulas, all of these kind of things. And at the same time, I said, no, I have so much passion to art and things like that. Okay, what I can do, and I chose architecture. So I decided that I'm going to study both at the same time. So I choose both of these. But when we say protect diplomas, when I um, when I finished fourth course, I wanted to find something interesting for me, and I couldn't find something really interesting, inspiring. I wanted to do some projects, analyzing things, all this kind of science. But the only thing I could find in the city I was living at that time, it was just sitting in an office. In a plant and doing just numbers, and it was so boring for me. I said no. I'm not going to do that. That's not for me. It's boring. So that time I remember myself. I was in the kitchen. You know, all of the big projects they start at the on the kitchen, and I asked myself what I love doing. I was 22, by the way. So what I love doing, I said, okay, I love art. I know how to do that. Okay, now I have all of my knowledge in economy, and I mean how I can do some business. I can do art. Let's start art studio. So I studied. I run my own art studio at age of 22, and that was time when I understood that art is going to be not just hobby and not just passion. I should be now responsible because I'm choosing this as my path, as my endless passion for my life.
Wow, so you really had options, and
Yeah.
it looked like art really just you were pulled in the direction towards being creative, and it's something beautiful. And something that I see in your website is you have a lot of art there. There's a lot of collections. There's a lot there. You're busy. So
Yeah.
so I want to get into that. And my question for you regarding your art is whether it's a sculpture or a painting, how do you start? Like, do you go to the park and go for a walk, or do you just sit down, or does it just appear in your mind, or what is that process like?
um, First of all, in this process, for me, it's very important to be open. So usually, what I do, I just observe life. I mean, I don't do that because like I have to do. It just happens naturally. Everything. So I observe life. I can just sit in the park or in the cafe, or it doesn't matter where I am. Just for example, sitting like here and watching people, what they are doing, how they doing things. So like their feelings, their emotions, or nature, trees. I don't know. I can observe trees many times, many hours, and it's never enough for me because every time I'm like, uh-huh. It's so interesting for me. That's why. So everything starts from observing. Then, because I know something, so I have some knowledge from this economical cybernetics, which is about economical models, but all of the economical models comes from um, higher mathematics, and higher mathematics describes nature. So I see things not just like trees, not like trees, but I see fractals. So first, I see fractals, how they grow, everything, how is everything connected. But fractals is just one thing which is very easy to understand. There is lots of formulas which I see, for example, how things um, influenced in world, how, for example, we influence each other. It's about factorials. I mean, I just know all of that formulas, and when I see world, when I observe world enough, and it's not just 1 hour, not 10 hours, it can. It's a long process observing. It's a long and very important process to understand things. It's a first step, and then I just put together everything, and then like, ta-da! Yeah, and then it starts like what? I run to my studio and start creating. I just close the door so no one can disturb me, and then just start doing things, doing. Sometimes I do just sketches. I just start from lines, from simple things, and then okay, now this. Now I mean everything then happens naturally. I don't push. I don't try to. It just happens.
And
Like
what is your favorite part of the process? Is it the beginning when you're observing and you're starting it off, or is it the ending when you're finally finishing the project? Do you even have a favorite part?
Um, I cannot say that I love, for example, the last part when I have the result, the material, yes, material world. I mean, sculpture or painting, more than, for example, observing. I think that I put love to each part with the same percentage. I mean, doesn't matter what I do, observing, or it's just this part, or it's just making lines, or it's creating, putting all of the composition, abstract composition all together, or touching the clay, or doing glaze, or I mean, I love everything about the process until the end. And then when I see the sculpture in a gallery, and then when I see the painting or sculpture or installation in museum or in the private collection, just every part represents my love to art, I would say.
I was looking at, like, as I mentioned earlier, your collections over on your website, and you have these different themes. You know, we have the abstract animals, and you have a lot of blue, and
Yeah.
I can't remember all of them. But my question for you is there any one that sticks out the most to you?
Um, mm, no, it's impossible. It's impossible to say that there
They're all
is
your
something.
babies.
Yeah, they're all my babies. It's. I love this small one and this biggest one, and sculptures and paintings and just drawings and paperworks. It's impossible to say, um, but they're different. I mean, I love them in a different way, but with the same way, but the different in a different
Yeah.
way. I mean, just doing sculptures, it's different feeling. Creating sculptures is different feeling because you can touch this material, you can touch clay, and then it just from nothing. It was time when I had the idea of it, so it was nothing, and then your idea is real and it lives in spaces of people, in galleries, and then in art collections of art collectors, and it's like, wow, it's incredible. So I cannot say that I love something more than, I don't know, I love painting, this painting more than that one, this sculpture more than that one. No, it's just a little bit different, but I love all of them.
So I'm getting to discover you, even as we're doing this interview. And for those in the audience, they might know a lot about you, maybe they don't. So my question for you is, well, I see your art online, but I'm wondering, because you were talking about like museums and displays, exhibits, have you had your art on display in exhibits? And if so, where?
So I had many exhibitions since I studied. There was a time my art was exhibited. I mean, because I'm from Ukraine, it was exhibited lots in Ukraine, in um, in Zaporizhia, in Zaporizhia Museum of Art. I had exhibitions, lots of in Kiev. I think this audience doesn't know about these places, but anyway, also I was exhibited in Cambridge, in Berlin, group exhibitions, in where else? Lots of places, in Chicago, in Miami. Last time I was exhibited during Art Basel Week, in Context Art Miami, at Miami Art Week. One of my sculptures was presented there. Um, these days, I'm working on presenting my art in Miami Gallery, which calls Huevas del Arte.
Okay.
Yeah, so soon, I hope Miami audience is going to see the sculpture, and I'm working on presenting some of my art in Chicago. I'm working. I'm still working on it. Yeah.
Well, as I mentioned a couple times already, your website shows just the high volume of projects that you've already worked on. But I mean, you're not stopping, you're not slowing down. Like you're saying, you're doing all of these exhibits in, different cities, Chicago, Miami, in the Ukraine. Do you go to these exhibits?
Usually, yes. Yes.
Okay, my question is, do you look at the people as they're looking at your art?
Oh, yes, of course. People are very interesting. I mean, I mean, I look at the people sometimes, not at exhibitions because you're too busy,
Yeah.
but usually, if I have time to slow down and to have my time, yeah, I usually look at the people like to these creators, like for example, their hands, their faces. I like love a lot faces of people that are so interesting. I observe faces like, oh, so yeah. I mean, smile, eyes. I love a lot eyes. I had. A series of artworks, portraits, which is not, by the way, presented on my website because I've done that in 2012. And it was a series called Inspire Me If You Can. And it was about 13 portraits of girls and boys, which I think were they were talking through eyes. I mean, I had the most important goal to show how through eyes you can see eyes, you can see life in the eyes of people. So I like faces and I like observing people as I observe nature or my artworks. It doesn't matter. It's about creation. It's creature, and humans are the most beautiful creatures. I think it's just something. Wow.
And is there anything that you are hoping that the viewers take away from when they leave seeing your art?
Yes, of course. So, what I'm doing and why I'm doing this, so I want people to have the same, first of all, feeling which I have when I observe world. Second of all, this knowledge, seeing how everything works, all of these formulas that I see. I mean, I see it through formulas, but there is a meaning in these formulas. There is deep meaning. How, in general, our world works, kind of works, because everything we're surrounded is just systems. Trees are systems, society is systems, and observing this and sharing that to in my artworks, I want people also understand something important and take from that some meaning for their life, so their life can be easier than it is, or so they can understand that how much they can influence the world as the world influenced them. I mean, there's lots of things I want them to take from my art. That's why I create that, because this feeling that I can share with people, it's huge, because I think that my antenna is working very well. So I want to just share, to transmit through my art this knowledge and this feeling to people. I mean, to all of the humanity. I'm happy if I can do that. as much as I can do, and humanity can take the best from that.
And would you describe yourself as an influencer?
Yeah, we are all influencers. All of us influence anything, something, doesn't matter. Yes, and as an artist, of course, I'm also influencer. Yeah,
My next,
because I influence. Yeah,
yeah.
sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, because I influence. Yes, of course. I can say that I'm influencer, but not maybe in that meaning that we used to use
Yeah.
these days,
Um,
nowadays.
my next question is, I mean, you've been doing art since 10 years old, pretty much, or you've been involved. My question for you now is, as an artist, what is the biggest obstacle or challenge that you've had to encounter, and how did you overcome it?
Mm, First of all, physical. Physically, you have to be strong to
Yeah,
handle all of this stuff.
yeah.
To to be, you have to be strong physically to do exhibitions, to hang all of your art, to bring them from exhibitions to the studio, from the studio to the exhibition, especially if you don't have elevator. And every time, for example, in my first size studio, I had no elevator. It was 3 floors, so every time
Back
you
and
just
forth.
get one. Yeah, I mean it's physically kind of difficult, but I'm strong, I think. But anyway, it's difficult. So art is not for weak people. Yeah, I mean maybe it's not right to say like that. I mean, if you have if we going to have audience and somebody is not, I mean, don't have enough, for example, is not enough strong to do that, I hope that they are going to have some help so they can help them to do all of this stuff. And second, and I think it's most important, it's to find yourself in your art. Like, what you're doing, why you're doing this, what's the meaning, what do you want to bring to the world. This is the most important and the most difficult thing to understand for every artist. But thanks God, I could handle and this and that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you,
maybe because of the passion, because I love it so much that okay, let's try to understand. But I never push myself like, Gaya, we have to understand right now because blah blah blah. No, no, no. I was doing everything. I was doing all of different styles, different techniques. I tried everything, but I could find myself in abstract art a lot and then realism, but I, like I said, I still position myself as multidisciplinary artist, so I don't want to limit myself with what I'm doing. I'm creator. I do what I like.
I love that. Um, my next question for you is, are you working on any projects at the moment? And if so, can you share that with us?
Yeah, I cannot show you something here, but I'm working on. So I have this project which calls a Factorial. So a Factorial is about influence. It's an interesting topic. Yeah, and
Okay.
Factorials is such an interesting thing that I hope I'll try to explain this. So factorial is a formula which says, for example, 5 factorial means 1 multiply 2 multiply 3 multiply 4 multiply 5. Five things. For example, we have 5 items of doesn't matter what.
Mhm.
So factorial shows how many variants you can have changing these 5 items. Doesn't matter what is it. I don't know. Maybe you have a sketchbook, you have a cup, and 5 of them are different. So that means that these 5 items you can change 5 factorial times, and 5 factorials is 1 multiplied 2, it's 2, 2 multiplied 3, it's 6, 6 multiply 4 is 24, and 24 multiply 5, it's 120, which means that 5 items have 120 variants how they can be for example, what kind of variants they can have visually, for example, on a table, for example. So I observe this formula, this law, this pattern in my art. And I work on this kind of artworks. I mean, I create visual systems and trying to show how even this small visual part can change all of the system, because it has meaning. It influences all of the system. Doesn't matter it's 1, 2, 3, or 5. I mean, if it's through numbers.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I think you can do a whole separate podcast just on that.
Oh yeah. I can talk about that a lot. It's interesting.
But it sounds like you have intentionality and you have a depth with your art. It's not simply just painting, but there's a real thought process that you have as your foundation, which I find just mind blowing. Just a different perspective on art, which I am appreciating as I'm listening to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's true. I'm happy you could feel that. Uh, it's really fascinating because, I mean, this world is just so interesting that I can't stop. The deeper I go, the deeper I see things, and I just want to show, like, look, this works
Yeah.
like this, or look, this. It's incredible. It's uh, it's something I just sometimes like, wow. This is how Newton, yeah, he has
Um,
done this. Yeah. So for me, sometimes like, wow. Yeah.
So, thank you for sharing your journey from your origins to the work that you've done to the work that you're currently doing. My next question for you, Gaia, is how do you see your creativity evolving in the future?
Um, in the future, I would like to create big sculptures. I would like to do bigger installations. I would like to people be interacted with these installations so they can not just see but also interact and feel it deeper. I would like to have my sculptures here in Miami, like big ones, my abstract animals. I see them here. I think Miami is a perfect place for my abstract sculptures, especially Miami Design District. It's the right place for my sculptures. I would like to create in the future or garden or something like this with beautiful flowers and my art there too. And I would like to write a book, which I'm also working on now, about abstract and how abstract influence us and how we observe world pictures. I call it pictures. How we see pictures and how our brain um, give names to different pictures, abstract or not abstract. Um, I would like to see my art presented in a places like MoMA, like if we are talking about US, in the places where my art um, can be can open all of the potential of the thoughts I wanted to share. I mean, I would like to share it with big amount of people all around the world.
Awesome. I really love hearing that you have a strong vision of it's like you know what you want. I,
Yeah,
I like that.
thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Now we're coming towards the end of the interview. Question that I have for you is, are there any other artists out there whom you suggest we keep an eye out for?
Yeah, so I have some Ukrainian very good artists. If it's interesting for you, it's beautiful, also abstract artist, Olha Dovhan-Levitska. It's a beautiful artist, Tatiana Tretiakova. Also, I met here some wonderful artists like Veronika Radkevich. Who else? In Ukraine, I have lots of talented artists. I mean, my friends, colleagues, really very talented. So, by the way, my sister is also an artist. She's a painter. She's working painting on cars.
Cool.
Yeah, she's very, I mean, not because she's my sister, but because she's such a good professional. I say like her hand is such a professional hand. She's very good in graphic. I mean, I would say that I'm very good in abstract art um, and fine art, and she's very good in graphics and working with cars, creating these things. So yeah, and my sister too.
What's your sister's name?
My sister's name is Gohar Arushanian.
Gohar Arushanian. So, all right. Thank you for leaving all of these shout outs. So those who are listening can check out these other artists as well. That's what I love about creativity. I think it's not to be limited. I think it's something that can be shared. And it's awesome to hear you sharing about your friends in the Ukraine, also here locally, who you're able to uh, be amazed by their art, especially your sister's art. I'm sure it's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, that's amazing.
So now for the concluding question, are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gaia, my question for you is why is creativity, why is this important to you?
Creativity is life. I think we were created to create. So if we were created, it means that we have to create to build life. I mean, even naturally, we creating building life. So it's number one rule for all of us. We have to create. If we don't create, unfortunately, we destroy. So create, and again create.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your creative journey from the beginning to the end. And now for those who are in the audience and who want to learn more about you and who might even be interested in purchasing your art. Well, first of all, is are any of your art open for purchase?
Yeah, some of my artworks are available for purchase.
And where can they go to check that out?
Yeah, they can go to my official website or to my Instagram, and soon they also can go to the gallery Huevas del Arte to check out some of my art and pictures if they want to.
And can you remind me, I don't have it at the moment, can you remind me what was your website?
Arushanian.com.
Okay, so I'll be leaving that in the show notes as well as your Instagram so people can check out your art and check out all the awesome content that you have there. Again, Gaia, thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. I know I'm not a huge podcaster, but it really means a lot for you to take your time, because I know you're very busy, for you to take your time and to share with me and with the audience. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Ryan. I wish you the best luck. I hope that more and more artists are going to know about your beautiful podcast, and you're gonna have the best you could ever imagine.
Oh, I like that. I appreciate that. And real quick, I just wanted to throw back the appreciation to the audience. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this podcast interview with our artist today, Gaya Arushanian. I had to read it just to make sure I have the correct pronunciation. Thank you for tuning in. If you would like to support this podcast, you can do so by going to buymeacoffee.com/truth7. All of your contributions helps me to keep this podcast going. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to also share this episode of my interview with Gaya so that more people can discover the awesome art by today's guest, Gaya Arushanian. So again, Gaya, thank you so much for being an awesome guest here on Creativity Worth Expressing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here.